This is Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 12 in the NLT. It says, sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there. I'm the brother Dama Agabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, and this is going to be a quick lesson. And as the scriptures say, hey man, sin is every damn where in this society, and the love of many is waxing colder and colder and colder. And this is just the signs of the times. Hey, these people here in Babylon, they're basically, matter of fact, let me get that real fast. This is John chapter 10 and 10. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, that probably is. Devil. Oh, it's lucky. Yeah, this is St. John chapter 8, verse 44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." All right, this is mainly talking about Esau, Edom, and the spirit the Lord has created this man to be in these last days. That spirit is on a lot of these people out here in Babylon the Great, America. Remember, the people have drunken of the wine, therefore, the nations are mad. And even these American people, they're all mad. They're all crazy. We got to remember, a lot of these people are dealing with a lot of demonic forces upon them. A lot of these people are highly medicated on, these so-called drugs, antidepressants. There's a huge mental sickness, depression. People are battling a lot of mental issues here in Babylon the Great. And in these last days, as we're getting closer into the end, it's just going to be manifested more and more. And this is why we got to be circumspect. Hey, we got to stay prayed up and make sure that, before you leave your house, man, every day, you got to throw up those prayers, not only for yourself, but for your wife and your children, for the elders and the apostles and for all the sincere brethren out there, because we're living in highly demonic and highly evil times. Like it says here, the love of many is waxing cold. I saw this article. I just wanted to do a quick lesson. Look at this. It says, 95-year-old woman beat fellow nursing home resident to death with wheelchair part. And this woman is 95 years old. And the average 95-year-old American, is brittle and fragile and weak. But hey, the demonic force on this 95-year-old woman, hey, she beat another fellow nursing home resident to death with a wheelchair part, man. So you can't tell me that love is not waxing cold here in this society, man. And this is from a less able-bodied person. And look what she was able to accomplish, So how much more these people out here? So let's read some of this. It says, an 89-year-old woman living at a senior housing facility in Brooklyn was bludgeoned to death with a wheelchair part by a fellow resident who has dementia. Sources with knowledge of the process. And what is dementia? Dementia is when your mind deteriorates, man. And this is and I can't guarantee it for sure, but I bet you these two women was probably Israelite women. Probably some of the curses kicking in. Or your eye being evil towards your brother. I can't confirm that, but if I had to put some money on it, I would say these is probably two. One of these are probably Israelite women. All right. It says the police source says the woman was killed Sunday night when an argument broke out between the two women at the Seagate Rehabilitation and Nursing Center in Brooklyn. The attack happened steps away from the beach inside the nursing center. The elderly victim was struck repeatedly over the head with a metal piece of the chair by a 95-year-old with dementia, according to the sources. Medics arrived and took the 89-year-old woman to a Lutheran hospital where she later died. The 95-year-old suspect is not currently facing charges because of her cognitive condition, authorities close to the investigation say. On Monday, a wheelchair part could be seen outside the facility behind blue crime scene tape. The 95-year-old suspect went to Coney Island Hospital for observation. The senior center did not immediately return a request for comment, man. What the fuck? So as you can see, hey, man, scriptures don't lie, man. Hey, the love of many is waxing cold, man. The Lord, even the Spirit is on these very, very elderly women, to beat another senior citizen to death, man. With a wheelchair part. Over what? Over an argument, man. You see, it shows you that, hey, a lot of these people are very unhinged, man. And that's why I said we got to stay prayed up, because you just never know, what can make any of these individuals out here snap, man. It could be, you might honk the horn at a red light because it shows green, and you might hold on the horn a little bit too long, to where that could cause that person to have a fit of rage, man, to get out the car, bash your window in, pull out a gun, reverse into your car. Like I said, these people are out here in the world. You just never know, the type of demons and the type of spirits that are on them. And at any moment, something could, spark that that could be the final straw to break the camel's back, and could lead to, just some violence or rage, or, it could entice that demon to attack, man. So we got to definitely make sure that we're staying prayed up out here and being very, very circumspect, man, because, hey, like the scripture said, hey, the Lord is speeding up the times, and these days are very, very evil, man. And the love of many is waxing cold, and these people are all unhinged. They're all just one, thing away from, becoming unhinged, man. And hey, you just never know, man. So this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise," right? And that means, be wise out here. Be wise as serpent, harmless as dove, man. Watch what you say. Watch who you talking to. Watch the type of arguments that you're getting into with these individuals out here, man, because these people are goddamn crazy, and especially around this time, especially around football season, it's a lot of arguments that take place. People go to these football games. They're all, deeply invested in these bread and circuses. They be drinking. Like I said, they be popping, taking their prescription medications, uppers, downers, all type of other drugs. And hey, that, and one little argument could cause, these people to lose it and to go completely wild or start shooting or attack or whatever the case might be, man. And in the case of that article, beat her fellow senior citizen to death with a piece of a wheelchair, man. So it says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." See that? These days are evil. We're living in bad times, man. And it's only going to get worse and worse. And also be careful around these Edomites, because they're unhinged as well. And they're looking for any excuse and any reason to so-called defend themselves from a so-called Negro that they might feel is dangerous or suspicious, or they just might want to lash out, man. Hey, another thing, don't be getting caught up in all of these political debates and having talk with these political individuals out here, because a lot of them are, I got to use Tariq Nasheed terms, suspected white supremacists, man. And who are looking to lash out. They're looking for somebody to blame. And really, they want you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to blame. You Israelites, us out there on the highways and the byways. So we got to be very circumspect and moving very wisely in these times, man. Verse 17, "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit," man. So, hey, you got to make sure as we're out and about, man, hey, we're on our P's and Q's, man. Like I said, watching things you say, watching the arguments you're getting into, somebody cut you off, just let them have it, man. Somebody, whatever, just take the L. Because the times are evil, and these people are filled with fucking demons, man. And we're living in very, evil and very violent and very, cold days, man. So, hey, brothers, just be circumspect out there. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Again, be very cautious about who you're talking to and who you're, getting in arguments and arguments with, man. Because, like I said, hey, these people are on 100, man. So I'm just gonna close it there. This was a quick lesson, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit of me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you are edified. Until the next one, shalom.